I bet. Welcome back to another episode on Toxiris Thoughts. Today I got top 5 90's albums. In my opinion, obviously, just based on my enjoyment. Please don't get triggered. Let's get into it. Alright, so we're starting off the top 5 with a honorable mention that didn't make it to the list simply because it's not released in the 90's. Technically, it is recorded in the 90's though, and it is Big L, The Big Picture. I think this is easily Big L's better project from the two that were officially released, and it would be in my top 5, but since it technically was released in the year 2000, I will only include it as an honorable mention. Anyway, let's get to the top 5. Number 5 is Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt. This is an absolute classic. It's Jay-Z's first project. I have a couple tracks on here that I really enjoy. I wouldn't say it's Jay-Z's best project, but from the ones I've heard, which aren't that many, it is one of the best. It is a very good project. I think mainly on this project what impressed me is the production and just the straight up the flow and the rapping. Not really anything besides that, like choruses or anything like that, but just the basics were very good. My favorite track on the project is probably Dead Presidents 2.
Do you want better and slay these niggas faithfully? Murder is a tough thing to digest. It's a slow process.
Alright, so at number 4, I got Black Star by Black Star, or, well, Talib Kweli and Mos Def. I think this is a very good project. I think, honestly, don't have that much to say about this project. I really enjoy it. I think the combination of Talib and Mos Def is crazy good. I feel like we could need a second edition of this one, even if that would be kind of late. Still, it is a very good project. For example, Mos Def's flow on Definition, which is probably my favorite track, is crazy.
From the first to the last of it, delivery is passionate. The whole and not the half of it. Forecasting aftermath of it. Projectile.
That's why I love this project. Number 3 is It Was Written by Nas. And I can tell you already, I only have one project per artist. Yes, I prefer It Was Written over Illmatic. Doesn't mean Illmatic is bad. Illmatic is a very good project. But I do think it is kind of overhyped, and I do think It Was Written is better. Just because tracks like The Message, which is one of my favorites, or I Gave You Power, which is one of my favorite like storytelling rap songs, if you can consider it a storytelling rap song. Like the track featuring Mobb Deep, the track featuring Foxy Brown, Cormega, it's just fucking good. And I prefer it over Illmatic actually. So yeah, number 3, It Was Written, my favorite track. I would say The Message. Then, on number 2, we got a pretty standard choice. I mean, some of these are standard choices, but this is probably the most standard one. All Eyes on Me by Tupac. Yep, that's my favorite Tupac album, easily. Just because it packs all of my favorite Tupac songs. How Do You Want It? Life Goes On, Scandalous, All About You, Ambitions as a Rider, No More Pain. Like, this project packs a lot of hits and a lot of Tupac's best songs. My favorite being Life Goes On. That is easily my favorite song of the project and my favorite Tupac song.
How many brothers fell victim to the streets? Rest in peace, young nigga. There's a heaven for a G. Be alive.
This is absolutely my favorite Tupac album, and I love it. It's my second favorite 90's album. Number 1, we got Mobb Deep, The Infamous. This should not be anything. This should not be any surprise for anyone who has talked to me about this project or has talked to me about Mobb Deep. I think this is an absolutely extraordinary project. Besides the masterpiece of Shook Ones Part 2, which is probably one of my favorite hip-hop songs of all time. I love Survival of the Fittest, Up North Trip, Eye for an Eye with Nas, Like, it's just a very, very good project. Havoc, Prodigy, both of them go crazy on this project. It's, from the ones I've heard, I haven't heard all of them yet, my favorite Mobb Deep project and my favorite 90s project, just because it has everything I want. Good lyricism, good bars, good hooks, bro. That hook on Up North Trip, love it.
Making moves at night, packing heat in this war zone. Niggas is strife running for one time. Ain't no time.
The beat on Shook Ones Part 2, crazy. Like, this project has everything, in my opinion, and that's why it's my favorite 90s project, and probably one of my favorite hip-hop projects of all time. With that being said, thank you for listening, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about my top 5, and have a great one.
Remember back then, all them hoes ain't want me. Now I'm ballin', all them same hoes on me. Mama told me that this came with the money and the motherfucking fame, even though I feel the same. I'm that nigga now, I'm that nigga now, I'm that nigga now, I'm that nigga now.